Assalamu alaikum, gorgeous. Welcome back to this episode of the Rosaline Batul Show. And today we're going to get straight into it on how I run my multi-six-figure business with 6 kids. Bear in mind, my newborn is literally 8 weeks today. Allahumma barik fi. She's the most amazing baby in the world. Quiet. Allahumma barik fi. May Allah continue to bless her. It's been such a joy having her in my life, my 6th child. I was a 6th child. She's a 6th child. So we're just bonding and vibing together. But I get a lot of questions on how I'm able to stay so calm, not stressed, look good, feel good. I'm just winning in life right now. Allahumma barik fi. Let me just say that first. Alhamdulillah, mashallah. It's from Allah. But just like Allah says, He won't change your condition until you change yourself. I believe I got to this place in my life because I accepted the inner work. I gave Allah permission to heal me and guide me to my highest self. And I wasn't afraid to walk on this journey alone. Now, speaking about alone, here's the real reason why I'm able to run a multi-six-figure business where I'm coaching on people's emotions. Let me tell you this first of all. I'm a coach. I'm a wealth hypnotist. I help women heal from traumas. This is a very heavy job. It's not for the weak. It's not for the faint-hearted. It's not for the triggered. It's not for the people who haven't healed. It's so easy being a money coach. And even then, money coaches, any type of coach, they have their struggles. But being an emotional trauma coach, helping women overcome traumas, it's heavy. It's a heavy responsibility that I take so seriously because I understand the consequences of not showing up as the best version of myself. Because I know when people look at me online, they think I'm so well put together. I must have it so easy. I'm just coaching. I'm making money as a coach. Yes, I make money. But to get to this point, I had to invest in becoming the best version of myself. Because my clients deserve me to be the best version of myself for them so that they can get the results that they want. Because if I'm not being the best version of myself and giving from an empty cup, there is no way my clients are going to get the results that they want. And this is what I really want you to understand as I talk you through how I manage this life that I have. Now, how I got to this version of my life where I'm living my dream life, the life that I dreamt of 7, 8 years ago, I'm living it right now, is the number one thing. This is the only thing that I can think about in how I'm able to live a stress-free life, is that when I intended to make money, it was for 2 things. To give back to my family, especially my mom, but Rahimullah, she passed away, and also to invest in support. Let me break it down for you. I am an ex-Miss Independent, ex-hustler, boss babe, in her bag era, masculine alpha woman. I used to be those things growing up. But when I started making money, I was like, I can't do this alone. Mind you, I was getting out of this mindset of doing things alone. I didn't want to do that anymore. My mom died, Rahimullah, with so many problems in her health because she had no one to rely on. And I remember saying to myself, I don't want to go out this way. I don't want my kids to see their mother be sick. Because for me, I never knew my mother as a healthy person. Looking back, my mother was always sick. I was either in the back of an ambulance at the age of 7, thinking my mom was going to die, or I was administering medication, making sure that my mom took her insulin, going to sleep with so much anxiety, thinking I'm going to wake up to hearing that my mom has died, checking on my mom in the middle of the night to make sure she's breathing. That's the kind of life I lived. I lived a very stressful, anxious life. So for me, making money was not about the private jets, the private island, the financial abundance. It wasn't about that. It's about investing in people that can help me maintain the life that I want. Because with a private jet comes a lot of maintenance. With a private island comes a lot of maintenance. You need to hire maids, you need to hire chefs, you need to hire cleaning services. Private jet's the same thing. It requires a lot of people. It's like a team that's involved in making that happen. You know, a private jet, billionaires, millionaires, they are all an example or a result of support. No millionaire got to being a millionaire on their own. I don't care what they say when they say they're a self-made millionaire. No, they're not. They didn't get there without support. Yes, they started out hustling, but then guess what? They realized, I can't do this alone. I need help. So the biggest thing for me was, I don't want to become burnt out, anxious, stressed out mother trying to make money. That makes no sense. Money is of no use to me if I am in a hospital in the ICU or if I'm sick all the time. There's no point in me having money. The whole point of having money is so that I can spend it and be happy spending it and not feel burnt out, resentful, or angry towards it. So my biggest intentions were, I want to give back, especially to my family. And I did, alhamdulillah, give back to my family after my mom passed away. And I wanted to be able to hire support. So hire a chef, hire a maid, hire a nanny, a driver, fly business class, first class, be able to fly whenever I want to, be able to travel whenever I felt like it. Like recently, I went for Umrah because I felt like it. I took my mother-in-law with me because I felt like it. I had the money for it. I wanted to be able to make decisions without worrying, can I afford this? Make big decisions, and that requires support. I can't make big decisions without having a team behind me. I have a VA, and she's amazing at what she does, mashallah. Without her, my business will not run. But I pay her a lot. And when I tell my clients how much I pay her, they are like, not shocked, but they understand why it's that much, but it's not something that they comprehended before. And that's the third thing as well. I didn't just want to hire support and pay them pennies. I wanted to pay them the best of the best. Like my nanny, I don't like to call her my nanny or my maid, but she's family to me. She's like my sister now. She's my family. But I pay her well. Allahumma barik fi. Allah has allowed me to be able to give money when people need it. Like she has a very good salary. My intention for making money or walking in my purpose was not just to make money or to have a lot of money or just to spend money on myself. My intention when I wanted to figure out my purpose and walk in it was to serve, was to be of service to the world. And this is a dua that I always made to Allah in every sujood. Allah, please make me a benefit to this world. Make me of a benefit. There's no point me being a human being alive, knowing what I know, and me not being a benefit. I want to add value to this world. And when you have that mindset, I promise you, Allah will send you people your way. And it's up to you. Now, this is where people mess up. When you make dua, Allah will send people your way. But when you have these beliefs in your mind that it's weak to ask for help, or you are weak and vulnerable if you can't do it alone, that's what's stopping you from actually getting to this level of a stress-free life. Because you probably somewhere in your mind have this blueprint where you saw your mother struggle in her motherhood, in her marriage, and you think that's normal. It is not normal for you to struggle like that, because Allah says, فَإِنَّمَا الْأُسْرِ يُسْرًا twice. Verily with hardship comes ease. Verily with hardship comes ease. That means there is 2 eases with 1 hardship. You're meant to be able to go through the hardship and come out of it thriving. If you are stuck in hardship, in this sabotage cycle, where you're not getting what you want, where you're still anxious about money, where you're still stressed about your routine, and you're still doing this and you're still doing that because you have a belief system that's not serving you, it is not from Allah. Because Allah says, whatever bad is in your life, wherever you consider is bad, is from what you've done. It's not from Allah. Yes, it's still predetermined. Yes, it's still your qadr, it's still your destiny, but you're causing it. You are the cause of it, not Allah. Allah is the cause of all your abundance. And He's the one who gives you your retribution or your punishment or your, what's that word? Rehab. Like He rehabilitates you by putting you through a hardship. But He's not the cause of it. The cause of your hardships is because of you, because of your belief system. This is why Allah says He won't change your condition until you change yourself. I really want to grasp this concept, because it's going to really change the way you see Allah in your life and how you consider or how you view support. Because I used to view support as weak. Like I used to pride myself on how well I can figure things out by myself. I used to pride myself on being a single mother and doing it all by myself. Like, girl, I was unhappy. I was depressed. Yeah, I was on social media showing up, but girl, I was crumbling inside, and that's not femininity. That is pure hardcore masculinity. Femininity is all about being strong inside, but showing vulnerability on the outside. That's true femininity. Where you're soft on the outside, you know your flaws, and you're not afraid to speak about your flaws, but inside you have this inner strength. It's not that you're tough on the outside and soft on the inside. That's what I was being. Because I was afraid to ask for help, because all my life, my mom used to always say to me, do it yourself. No one's coming to save you. You have to figure it out by yourself. It's quicker if you do it by yourself. That was my mom all the time. She would never ask for help. Like, she would cuss us out for not washing the dishes. And as soon as we tried to wash the dishes, she'd come and wash the dishes. That's the time of life type of environment I was raised in. Like, she will cuss, and then she will do the thing that she was cussing about, but then complain about not getting support. So in my mind, I used to always view support as this derogatory thing towards women. I used to believe that if you needed to ask for help, it's because you don't know how to be a woman. That's what I thought. But as I healed, now I've healed all my emotional wounds and I'm living in my embodied state, I understand that women build communities. Women cannot do it alone. It is not our nature as women to be alone. This is why I created a sisterhood in sacred feminine pleasure, where I wanted women to connect and make friends, because we can't heal alone either. If you believe you can heal alone, and that's another mistake, this is what I want to talk about in the podcast, the mistakes I made in my healing journey. One of the mistakes I made in my healing journey is that I believed I could do it alone, and I prided myself on it. And actually, I used to get so irritated when I couldn't figure out my problems alone. I used to get so irritated when I needed to hire a coach. Back in the day, when I started coaching and I hired coaches, it came from an irritated place. Like, why can't I figure this out myself? Let me see what she's doing. Oh, and then when I used to figure out what she was doing, I'm like, oh yeah, I can apply it to myself now. But that's not the point of coaching. The point of coaching is to get to the result faster in less time. So hiring support for me, or getting help, or saying I need help, oh my gosh. Saying I need help was like, I wanted to vomit saying I need help. It used to feel so icky to me. I'd be like, what is wrong with me? Why do I need help? I'm a strong, independent woman. I don't need no one. But guess what, girl? That came from an abandonment wound. That came from an emotional wound from my father, because my father abandoned me. And some parts of myself, I felt like my mother abandoned me because she just didn't want to get better. I still remember crying myself to sleep, and I saying, why can't my mom just get better? What is wrong with her? Why does she not love me enough to not want to get better? Why is she sick? And when I grew up, I used to feel so guilty remembering those thoughts. I used to be like, oh my God, I was such a bad daughter for even thinking that my mom didn't want to get better for me. But that was just a natural emotion that I had about my mom, that why can't my mom get better? Why am I in the back of the ambulance when I come back from school? Why am I coming back from school and finding my mom in a coma because she hasn't taken her insulin and she's not responding and I think she's going to die? And I'm in the back of my ambulance now, crying on my way to the hospital. Why is this my life? I used to always question, why is this my life? Why can't I just have a normal life? I never felt normal growing up. Like, my whole house was toxic. My siblings were toxic. My mom had toxic traits. She was dealing with her own traumas. Rahimullah, it's not her fault. I don't blame her. I love her so much. She's my best friend. You know, I still speak to her in my head. The way I see my mother is like, she was my support system. In my teenage years, in my adult years, she was my support system. But growing up as a young girl, where I needed that emotional support, I needed to learn how to self-regulate. My mother couldn't give me that, because she unfortunately never got those tools either by my grandparents. She was forced to grow up the same way I was forced to grow up. So as you can see, my blueprint was, you got to figure out on your own. Even when I got bullied in school, my siblings never helped me. As sad as it is, I used to beg my siblings to come and help me. Like, please, I used to beg my eldest brother. It's so sad saying this, but I used to beg my eldest brother, because he used to drive a nice car. Like, please just come and pick me up from school. And my brother would be like, no, I can't do it. I ain't got the petrol money. You're going to pay for my petrol? That was what he used to always say to me. You're going to pay for my petrol? Like, I love my brother, but he used to always say, are you going to pay for my petrol? I'm busy. I got work. And he used to kill me inside. He used to burn me inside that my brother wouldn't help me. And like, I forgive them all. I hold no grudge towards them, because I understand we were all going through something as children. Like, the house that we lived in was crazy. We were dealing with sihr, with black magic. We were dealing with like spiritual issues. We were dealing with generational narcissistic issues. There was a bunch of issues that we were dealing with in the house. So I don't fault no one. But When I was a young girl and I needed help from my brothers, they never came. No one came. I used to cry myself to sleep, saying to myself, like, I wish I had a dad. I wish I had an uncle who just loved me, because I remember I had no contact with my aunties and uncles, no contact with my grandparents. I had no family, just me, my mom, and my siblings in this community that didn't like us, dealing with bullying, dealing with racism, dealing with so many things. And it's just like, why is this my life? So growing up, it's just like, I don't belong here. I feel different. No one wants to help me. No one loves me. I can't ask for help. I can't ask for support. I need the help, but I feel so weak asking for help. Who do I turn to? Because every person I turn to can't help me. I've got to go and figure out myself. And I'll tell you now, that belief used to kill me. I have to figure it out alone. Oh my gosh. Even to this day, sometimes I'll cry. Like when I feel like my husband is not supporting me, even though he is, but I haven't specifically asked him what support I need, I will cry and say, I'm doing it alone. I will just wail. I'll be wailing in my bedroom, crying, because I'm like, I feel like I'm doing it alone again. I never, ever, I will tell you now, I will pay top dollar to never, ever have to go through life alone ever again. Now I've become the delegation queen. I'm the delegation queen. If I need help with something, I am not going to sit for hours to figure it out. Like right now, we're hiring someone to do our email marketing. I'm not doing that. I told my VA, I'm not going to figure it out because I just can't be bothered. Please find me someone that's going to be able to do a funnel for me in my emails just to sell something. Like, I don't want to figure it out. And even now, I'm finding someone to go and book like a whole package for me, a holiday package where I get to travel to different places. I don't want to figure out myself. I'm going to hire someone to go and find me the hotel, to go and find me the nice places to stay, to do the sightseeing for me, to give me an itinerary of what I can do, where I want that. I want like a PA. I'm at the level where I'm looking for a PA. I have a fashion designer, a personal stylist who creates my abayas. When I see something that I like, I send it to her. She makes it for me. I don't want to do it alone. I don't want to. And this is femininity. This is feminine soft power. You know how you see in the feminine coaching space, women talking about being soft, nurturing. How you can't be nurturing if you have no one to support you. Nurturing means you have someone there to help you to nurture. Is that when you think about nurturing, think about a mother and a child? That means, but there's a child there, right? There's someone else. There's someone else that you're giving nurturing energy to. It requires team effort. The child needs to have a need in order for you to nurture that need. You can't just nurture yourself. You have to give it out. Right? That's what makes a mother. She has a child. It's the same concept for you. You can't be in your feminine soft power doing it alone. It makes you very masculine. Men can do it alone. Men are wired and geared to do it alone because they're the ones who have to leave their families to hunt, to go to war, to fight. When a man is fighting for his family, he's doing it alone. Sometimes he'll have a crowd with him, but most of the time he's fighting alone. Defense, right? Us women, we have children. We build communities. It's that men conquer the lands and we build communities that thrive on that land. So men do that alone. They go head on. But us women, we have to come together, be like, listen, how can we do this? How can we do it? We delegate. We give roles, we give jobs, we give tasks. We do that. Technically, I like to say that we are leaders. Like men follow our lead, men submit to a woman's lead. But not in the way that is being portrayed in the online space or in the world where a man becomes a simp or an incel, where he becomes so weak in his masculine. But men who are masculine will want a woman's input. They want her intuition. They know that a woman's creativity and her intuition is very powerful. But for you to get to that level, you have to be willing to ask for help, to be able to tune into that power. If you think I can do it alone, you will never, ever activate that part of yourself. And I know because I struggled in my masculinity, in that heavy energy for such a long time. Such a long time. And when I look back, I think, why did I do that to myself? There was no need for it. I didn't need to figure out alone. I could have asked. And there were people around me who wanted to help me, but I was rejecting them because I didn't want to get disappointed. I didn't want to get hurt. I was tired of getting hurt. I was tired of being let down. And because of that belief, that blueprint, those memories I had in my mind of being let down by my mom, my siblings, my friends, my dad, my uncles, my grandparents, because of that blueprint, those memories I had, that's what stopped me. It was just that. It wasn't because of the person in front of me. It's because of my memories. My past was holding me back. And this is why I bang on about healing and getting someone to help you to heal, getting coached, being part of a program, like asking for help. And when you do make that decision to get help, to act upon it, because it will save you years and years and years of doing it by yourself and getting burnt out and feeling frustrated and resentful at the end of it. Like, I wish I could turn back time just to ask for help and just to receive the help that people were trying to give me. Because I know back then I must have been toxic. I must have been so toxic. Oh, girl. When you can't receive help, you are toxic. I don't care what you say. I don't care how nice you are faking it. I'm telling you now, you are faking it. You are faking being nice if you can't ask for help. Like, how are you giving so much of yourself without receiving anything back? That is toxic. You are emptying your cup. Who's filling it? Yourself? Yeah, you can fill it alone, but then you still need to receive something because you're a woman. Women need to receive in order to be feminine. You have to receive. You can't just be always the person giving. That's a masculine trait. Masculinity is about giving. Femininity is about receiving. So you also need to receive love. Yes, you can give it to yourself. That's half of it, but you also have to receive it from an outside source too. In form of friendships, in form of a relationship, in form of passions. You have to receive it. It doesn't just have to be like a marriage, a friendship too. Even at your job, you have to receive. So when you're saying to yourself, I can figure it out by myself, girl, you're toxic. Sorry. I was toxic. That's why I'm saying it. I'm happy to say I was toxic back then when I was trying to figure everything out by myself. And that's the reason why I was attracting men who were toxic too, who were unhealthy, who were not committed, who were just not masculine, because I was being masculine. It's like two masculine men in a fight. I was that. And I didn't admit it back then, of course. I didn't know. But now that I know, it's just like, oh my gosh, girl, you were so toxic. No wonder you were attracting toxic men. Even when I think about my marriage, it's like, I attracted that because that's who I was being. I was being a strong, rigid, masculine woman trying to be a man, because I also had a belief in my mind that I just hated being a woman. I hated being a girl. When I was young, I used to wear track bottoms, Reebok trainers. I used to wear baseball caps. I used to be very boyish, very tomboyish, just to hang out with the boys because I hated being a girl. I was like, if I was just born a boy, my life would be great. I could do whatever I wanted. But being a girl comes with limitations until I healed that part of myself. And I love being a woman. I love it. I love the power that I hold. I love the power I have. Women have power. We have so much power as women. When you embrace your femininity, when you embrace the need for help. Now, how I got to this place of asking for help is I deleted memories in my subconscious mind using abundance rewiring, my framework, hypnosis. So it's a hypnotic framework where I delete memories in the subconscious. When you think about a behavior is an automatic response. Automatic responses do not come from the conscious mind. It comes from the subconscious mind. So to access your subconscious mind, you have to go into a relaxing state. And that's what hypnosis does. So I deleted the memories around not being protected by my brothers or my father. I deleted the memories of my mom, like having to be a parent to my mom. I deleted all those childhood memories. There were so many constant memories. I deleted them by rescuing little Rosie. So every time I had a memory, I would rescue little Rosie and give her the advice and the love that she needed back then. And then I released the emotional trauma, especially the grief. Girl, I did not realize how much I was grieving until I did this inner work. I was grieving a childhood I never had, that I wish I had. I was grieving the moments, the good moments that I wish I had. The moments that I used to be watching the movies of families being together. I was grieving that. Wishing I could have had those moments. I was grieving the peace that I never had, the joy I never had. And I wasn't giving it to myself because I still had those memories in my subconscious mind. They were blocking me because they were projecting a belief in my mind. When you have a memory, it gives you the belief. The belief comes from a memory. So the belief I had is I'm not good enough. I'm different. I'm weird. I have a weird family. I don't belong here. I'm ugly. I'm not important enough. No one likes me. There were so many beliefs that came from those memories. I had a belief as well that my family doesn't like me either. So those beliefs I had to rewire by deleting the memories. Once I rewired, the way I rewired the beliefs is by reconnecting to Rosie, the Rosie that I saw in my mind when I was young. When I was young, I used to escape in my mind. And the way I escaped, I used to imagine myself traveling the world, being an air hostess, confident, sexy, well put together, wasn't burdened by people's problems. That's the woman I envisioned becoming. I didn't envision becoming a woman who couldn't ask for help. No way in my mind to say, oh my God, I can't wait to be older so I don't ever ask for help. No, I used to imagine being in loving friendships, having like a community of sisters, a community of women around me that just loved me. Like they became like family. That's what I used to envision in my mind. So I had to reconnect to her. When I reconnected to her, I was able to download the beliefs. Because usually when you're doing affirmations and they're not sticking, it's because that's not the affirmation you need. There's an affirmation you need from your higher self, from the version of you that you used to dream about when you were younger. She has those affirmations. You have to reconnect back to her. Once I reconnected back to that version of me, girl, my confidence came back. I was like, oh my gosh, this is me. I remember me now. I remember who I am. I used to always be confident. The reason why I got bullied is because I was so confident. The kids didn't like it in school, how confident I was being alone. I used to hang out by myself. So the memories turn from me being a victim, little old me, to me being, oh, I get why I got bullied. Is because, because I was so confident, because I was able to speak up for myself, because I had my voice. I was able to express myself clearly and they couldn't understand why. And when they bullied me, I would still come back the next day saying, yeah, and what? Bring it on. That's the kind of woman, that's the kind of girl I was, because I was envisioning that version of me, the older version of me. And I was being her. That's why. So instead of me being a victim in my mind and being that little old Rosie, that little girl who felt so abandoned, I became Rosie, the grown version of me. And the beliefs that she had that I have now is, girl, it's so good to be me. It's a privilege to be me. It's a privilege to be in my space. It's a privilege to be around me. I love me. Everywhere I go, I attract abundance. I'm just so confident. I am sexy. I'm gorgeous. I'm beautiful. I've always been beautiful. I've always been good enough. These are the beliefs that I had in my mind, but they came with a different feeling. The feeling that they had was just invigorating, refreshing, energizing feeling. That's the feeling you want when it comes to affirmation. You don't just want to say an affirmation. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm good enough. I'm good enough. It's a feeling that comes with it. You can't activate that feeling until you connect to the identity of that woman. Once I connected to that identity, I was able to release that grief. The grief went, the anger, the pain, the betrayal, the apathy. I had a lot of apathy towards life. Like I would set a goal and not do it. It's so weird. I'll be like, yeah, I want that goal. Yeah, I want it. And then I'll be like, next day, I don't want it anymore. I didn't even care about it. It was just, I was so reckless, girl. I was so reckless in my decision making. So reckless. Because I had no value over my life. I didn't care if I lived or died. That's how I became with those memories and those beliefs. Like, no one cares about me, so why should I care about myself? It's fine. Let me be reckless. I was very reckless in my teenage years, from the age of 16 to the age of 18. I was very reckless. I did some reckless things. I'm thinking back then, it's only Allah who saved me. It's only Allah who protected me, because the things I got myself into were completely, I shouldn't be here, basically. I should be in rehab. So once I reconnected that version of myself, then I was able to tap into the feelings of pleasure, happiness, joy, fulfillment. I could reconnect back to God. I was able to reconnect back to God by reconnecting to that version of myself. That's when the feelings came back up. When I was young and I used to think about the older version of myself and how I would be, it created a feeling of confidence in me. Like, I've got this. I've got my own bag. Yeah, forget everyone. If no one wants to help me, I can help myself. But it came from a good place, not from a victim place. Like, yeah, I've got this. I've got my own bag. I'm going to love myself. I'm going to care about myself. I'm not going to let anyone tear me down. That kind of confidence I had. Like, I remember, right? I used to listen to S Club 7. I don't know if you guys remember S Club 7. S Club. I don't know if you know about it, but there was one song that I used to sing on repeat, and I used to envision myself, my adult version of myself. And it went like this. It goes like this. Don't judge my voice, okay? It's like, reach for the stars. I don't know if you know that song. Climb every mountain higher. That song, oh my gosh, girl. That was like my mantra. I was just like, I would sing that every day. I would go to school singing that song, feeling so joyful, because just the words, it wasn't the beat, it was just the words that would inspire me to keep going. And now when I look back, the music that I used to listen to, like I grew up on Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey and ABBA, S Club 7. Those are the things I listen to the most. And now when I look back and the music that I still remember to this day, the words, the lyrics is Whitney Houston, but Mariah Carey, Hero. That song, Hero, I sang when I was 6 years old. I sang it as part of my talent show. And I sang it with my heart. And I remember my teacher saying that, girl, you're going to be a star. I was like, I am a star. I was so confident. I was like, I already am a star. And she gave me like 6 stars on my dress. I still remember to this 6 gold stars I got. I remember going home saying, Mom, look at me. I got 6 gold stars. I'm a star. But that's how confident I was. I never had these beliefs in my mind that I'm not confident. It's just my memories. When I look back at my memories, I used to feel down about it because I forgot how I was feeling in that moment. So yeah, when I look back at the songs I used to sing, it was, Hero. And then there's a song with Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston. They sang together, When You Believe. And also, no, there's another girl I used to listen to. Her name is India Airy. There's one song, came in Shark's Tale. One shot to your heart without, I can't remember what the title goes. Yeah. You Can Fly. I think it's You Can Fly. That song, I sang that like relentlessly. But the lyrics had like this confidence attached to it that you can do anything you put your mind to, anything at all. Like nothing can hold you down. No amount of challenges can take you out of your lane or take you out of your destiny. That's the kind of lyrics I used to attach myself to. But I realized it's because I was attaching myself to a higher version, the real version of me, the authentic Rosie, confident. She's like resilient, relentless. That's who I am. So, but I had to connect to her. I had to connect to her using the abundance rewiring by deleting the memories and downloading her belief system so I could activate the feeling. And the feeling I have is like pure bliss, pure confidence. Like, girl, there's things that I'm on social media. I wear niqab. A lot of people ask me, like, how are you doing it? Is that because I believe in myself and I know Allah wants me to walk this path. I have so much conviction that this is my purpose and this is my mission. That no one can tell me otherwise. I don't care how you feel about me. I don't care what you believe about me. I don't care if you believe that I'm not a good Muslim. I don't care. The only opinion that matters to me is Allah's opinion. That's it. And I know what I'm doing is walking my purpose, is what Allah wants for me. Otherwise, I would have got a sign by now. But the signs I'm getting is that, girl, this is what you're meant to do. Like the way I've been able to unlock so many of my spiritual gifts that I forgot about when I was young, alhamdulillah, it's because I'm walking this path. And when you start asking for help and when you start asking for support, you will start tapping into parts of yourself that you hid in childhood out of fear of judgment, out of fear of shame. Like, girl, that shame will hold you back. And this shame holds you back from asking for help because you were shamed a lot as a child. I was shamed a lot to ask. I remember asking for help on spelling the word disappear. And I remember my English teacher like taking the mick out of me and the whole class was laughing. And I was like, I'm never going to ask for help ever again. Like this B word, I was calling her B word in my mind. I was like, this B word. Who is she? Like, she is really taking the mick out of me. I'm never going to ask for help. Let me show her. What I used to do is when people used to shut me down for asking for help, I would take revenge by figuring it out myself and then be like, ha ha, I got one over you. I know how to do it, that kind of thing. So me not asking for help and doing it myself was like an act of revenge. The anger motivated me to not ask for help. And that's what kept me in this hustling energy of masculine energy. I had 3 jobs at the age of 16. I was paying my mom's rent at the age of 16. I was making money. I was like so responsible. I've been making money my whole, like since the age of 16. I've not had no issue with money at all because this mindset, yes, it got me this far, but it's not going to take me to where I want to go. You have to understand this. When you, like, I'm not saying that your traumas or what you gained from your traumas is holding you back. No, it helps you. It helps you get to a certain point in your life, but it's not going to get you to where you really want to go. It's going to keep you there. If I stayed in that mindset of I don't need help, I can do it by myself, being the jack of all trades, not figuring out my path, not asking Allah for guidance, not connecting to Allah, I will still be that Rosie from 2015, 2014. Stagnant, not growing. If you want to grow, you have to start changing your belief systems to maintain that level of success, to maintain that level of stress-free life. I live a very stress-free life. Alhamdulillah. I know this podcast took a turn, But I live a very stress-free life because I was able to ask for help. And the more I ask for help, the less stress I have. And I love it. I love my health being at optimal level. I love being healthy. I love being able to go for doing 10K steps a day. I love being able to like play with my kids. I love being able to have a child and bounce back within a day. I had a C-section 8 weeks ago. I was up and about a week later, coaching my clients, feeling so good about myself. I love the fact that I don't go through postpartum depression. I love it. I love bragging about it too. You know why? Because I want women to understand you don't have to do it alone. Like, if you get triggered by me saying these things to you, ask yourself why. Why do you get triggered by the thought of me living a happy life stress-free? Like, what triggers you about you knowing that I have 6 kids, I have a newborn, but I'm living my best life, I'm happy, I'm healthy? What triggers you about it? That is going to indicate what beliefs you have in your mind about having support, about being a woman, about being a mother, about being a wife. Like, girl, I haven't cooked. I do cook sometimes, but properly, I haven't cooked in like, God knows how long. 3. No, I haven't done laundry. I have not done laundry in 4 years. I have not washed any clothes in 4 years. Not ironed no clothes in 4 years. How do you feel about that? Does it trigger you? What's coming up? Like, ask yourself, like Rosie hasn't ironed and done laundry. Like, what about her husband? Does she not love her husband? Like, who irons her husband? Like, my nanny, not nanny, my maid. I call the nanny. We call the nanny. She looks after the kids and does the housework. She irons the clothes. My husband's clothes. She washes them too. I don't care. It gets done. A lot of women would be like, I know women talk to me. They ask me this question, like, how do you let that happen? How not? My husband deserves the best version of me. And that requires me to be at optimal level. So laundry stresses me out. I don't want to do laundry. I don't want to be separating blacks from whites and whites from colors. Just do it. I don't care how you do it. Just do it. Even like, it's so funny. I don't even coach. I don't even tell my maid how to do it. She just does it. And whatever she gives me, I'm cool with it. And like, I'm just so laid back. I don't care because she does it so well. I love my barik fee. I love her so much. She like irons so well. It's like hotel professional level. Literally. It's the best ever. Like, I get crisply ironed clothes like you would at the hotels when you give dry cleaning at the hotel. It's so amazing. But ask yourself, what's triggering you about it? Knowing that and also like, I haven't cooked properly in like 4 years. What triggers you about that? And I haven't, what else do women do? I haven't cleaned. I haven't brushed. Girl, do I brush? No. I haven't brushed my own room for like 4 years. I get it done for me. I get my bed made in the morning. Like, what is it about that triggers you? Ask yourself, like, do you believe that your definition of a woman is how well you handle hardship or how well you do it by yourself? Like, ask yourself, like, what's triggering you about it? And you will find the answers. You will find beliefs in your subconscious mind that no longer serve you. And I can tell you this for free. Those beliefs are holding you back. And if you are afraid to go into those beliefs, then hire me as your coach. I will coach you on them. I'm a no BS coach. Like, I will not allow you to fall for the stories that you tell yourself. I will show you your higher version of yourself. I will mirror it back to you for you to actually believe that the life you want is there. It's available for you. But you have to get rid of those beliefs that are no longer serving you. You have to get rid of the programs that no longer serve you, outdated programs that make no sense in your life. Like, your worth as a woman is how well you cook and clean, really? Yeah, you can do it out of love. I'm not saying I cook for my husband out of love sometimes, but most of the time we go out and we go to restaurants and, you know, I have someone to cook for us. It's fine. It's not a big deal because our love language is emotional connection. It's not cooking and cleaning. Like, we love each other based on how well we emotionally connect to each other. That's a big one for us. It's not about like what we do for each other. And my husband, he does a lot for me. He helps me raise my children. That's another reason why, ladies, by the way, I'm able to run a multi-6-figure business because of my husband. Girl, he works from home. He has his own business. He's a civil engineer, builds homes. He's a builder too. Like, I've got it made. I don't know about it for you. He's a builder. Like, he builds a housing. You know when women say, can you build a house? You know when men say, what do you bring to the table? And then women's rebuttal is, can you build a house? Girl, my man can build a house. I don't know about it fee. But really, like, I'm able to run this business because of my husband. My husband is available emotionally for my children. He's there. He's hands-on daddy. That's what he is. I love about it. Like, I call him like my biggest investor in my business, because his time and energy in making sure my house has a routine, that my kids have discipline, they have, that they are just well mannered because of my husband. There's a father figure. So shout out to my husband for holding it down at home. I'm about it for you. Like, my postpartum journey has been so amazing because I'm about it because of my husband. I gotta say it. I gotta hand it to him. Like, he's a huge part of this too. But I couldn't get here. So that's about it for now. My kids have come to disturb me. I'm gonna have to end this podcast. Let me know in the comments what came up for you, what triggered you, what you took away from this episode. And inshallah, I will speak to you soon. Assalamu alaikum.